So today we will be continuing Lesson 1, How Do Environments Change? This is our last day of Lesson 1. You guys took your Lesson 1 quiz last night. So today we're going to go over your quiz, have a little discussion, and talk about a different environmental change we haven't talked about yet. All right, first let's go over your quiz. So I have up here everyone who scored a perfect score. Good job to Nancy, Katie, Kaki, Minlong, and Min Huang. You are our students that got a perfect score. So great job, guys, on your test. Let's play the quiz together. As usual, everyone be ready to answer the question. Let's begin. Number 1, a natural event that causes a lot of damage or loss of life. Cherry.
Natural disaster.
Very good. I know nature and natural are really similar sounding. Excellent job, Cherry. How does a forest fire change the environment? Bo.
The plants are burned and the animals move or die.
Excellent job. The plants burn, the animals move or die. Nice work, Bo. Which is true about dams built by beavers? Helen.
They both help and harm environments.
Excellent. You're right. They help environments by making a new habitat, but they also hurt the environment. All right, we'll skip this one for now since it's asked in other questions on the test, so I just put something random. Question number 5. Anything people, plants, or animals use to meet their needs? Fred.
Resource.
Source. Nice work, Fred. The kudzu plant grows over other plants. The other plants do not get enough light. Why does this harm the plants? Hai Fong.
The plant needs to light to make food.
Exactly. So it's not that the plants can't make new plants when the kudzu grows over them. It's that the plants can't make food, so they die. They can't make food without sunlight. That's why they die. Thank you, Hai Fong. Is this a good or a bad change? Birds spread seeds. Kitty.
Good change.
Good change. Very nice. What would be the best title for this chart? Simon.
How people change environment.
Excellent. How people change environments. Nice work, Simon. 9. Is this a good or a bad change? People cut down trees. Katie?
Bad change.
Very good. Bad change. All the living things and non-living things around you make up your, Jenny?
Make up your house.
Oh, it's not going to show the answer in game. We'll see after. How can people hurt the environment? Suri.
People can start forest fire.
Very good. These other things help the environment. People restore environments, make them the way they were before, cleaning up trash, planting trees. That helps them. Forest fires hurt them. Good job, Suri. What happens to the animals when people throw trash in the ocean? Kaki.
All of these are correct.
Let's see, I think that's right as well. Some animals eat the trash, some get stuck in trash, other animals get sick from the pollution. 13, environmental scientists are important because, Daisy, what do you think? Do you remember in the lesson we talked about laws and how they help the environment? Can you read the number 3 out loud?
They teach others about how to protect
the environment.
Do they do that, Daisy? Yeah, right? They do a couple of different things. Very good. So the answer is actually going to be all of the above. What can change an environment in minutes? A fast change. Which one is a fast change? Mooney.
A forest fire.
Very good, a forest fire. Excellent work. Is this a good or a bad change? The kudzu plant grows in a new part of the forest. Ruby.
I think it is a good change.
Okay, let's click that one. Thank you, Ruby. And let's see how we did. So we got 2 wrong, 10 and 15. So all the living and non-living things around you make up your, everyone say it. Environment. Remember, all the living and non-living things in a place around you are your environment. And the kudzu growing, remember, all of the plants underneath of it die because they don't have sunlight, and plants need sunlight to make their own food. So that's going to be a good change or a bad change. 1, 2, 3.
Bad change.
All right, so it's a bad change. Okay, let's go into today's lesson. Overall, though, guys, I am very happy with your quiz results. You guys did a great job. All right, we got a pretty good score as a class. What do you think climate change is? Does anyone raise your hand in your video if you have an idea of what climate change is already? It looks like Dami knows a little bit. Suri and Nancy know what climate change are. Very good. Yeah, there's a lot to learn about it. Nancy, could you tell us what climate change is?
Yeah, climate change is when the climate gets too hot. Because the planet's getting hotter because there's something called the greenhouse gas is when it goes really high and blocks the sunlight, so our skin can't get burned. So now there's too much, and it's hotter because we're just littering all over the place.
Excellent. All right. So there's one. Nancy says it's when climate change gets too hot because of greenhouse gases. Does anyone else want to add to that? Michael, do you have anything to add?
It's not only when the climate change get only hot, it's kind of a mix with hot and cold too, or hot, one cold, any kind.
Let's say the temperature gets extreme, so maybe it gets hotter or colder. It's more extreme. Does that summarize what you're trying to say, Michael?
Yeah, and animals can die. Example of the polar bears, it can die due to the hot temperatures in the Arctic.
All right, and some animals cannot survive. Thank you, Michael. And I'll take one more. Does anybody else have an idea that they want to add to what they think climate change is? Suri, go ahead, Suri.
What the problem is now is that the climate change because they put so many pollution into the sky, so they get hotter. And they put oil into the Mississippi, and sometimes they need to put pom-poms around, so it didn't get hotter because sometimes there's too messy and not neat and clean, so they have the temperature high up.
Temperature get higher. All right, very nice. So also pollution is what makes more of those greenhouse gases. Suri's very right. So in general, it looks like we have temperature as a main idea. We have greenhouse gases. We have pollution, which increases those greenhouse gases. That's a really good start, everybody. I'm very impressed with how much you guys know. Let's take a look. Now that we've said a couple of basic ideas. Let's take a look at a video on climate change. Everyone pay attention. I will be asking questions throughout the video and afterwards as well.
This is the world. That's you and that's me. The world has the perfect temperature to keep all living things alive and happy. This temperature depends on a balance. The sun's heat goes to Earth to make it warm. The sun's heat bounces back to space to make the Earth cool. When this balance is lost, the climate changes.
So what normally happens, the sun's heat makes the Earth warm, and then what happens to the heat? Does it stay on the Earth? Dami?
Push back out the space.
Excellent. It bounces back out into space, so the Earth cools down. Great start.
The Earth's climate has changed many times before. This is called natural climate change. It's caused by volcanic eruptions, changes in the sun's energy, and changes in the Earth's orbit.
All right, so what can make climate change naturally? What can make it happen naturally? Sam?
Volcano and sun's energy.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you. So changes naturally by volcanoes, the sun's energy, the Earth's orbit. That's all natural and healthy.
Greenhouse gases also make the Earth warmer. They trap heat from the sun. Greenhouse gases are like a blanket covering the Earth.
All right, so greenhouse gases also, what do greenhouse gases do? What are they like? What do they do? Helen?
They are like a blanket cover the Earth.
Exactly. Normally heat from the sun bounces back out into space, but greenhouse gases keep them there, just some of them, so that the Earth doesn't get too cold, like a blanket. Excellent job, Helen.
It started in the 1700s. Humans started to build more things. We burned coal to make electricity. We burned oil to make our cars and planes move. We used chemicals to make things. We cut down lots of trees. We burned gas to cook food. We dumped lots of trash on landfills. We plant a lot more rice.
All right, that was a lot of ways that we've caused climate change. Who can tell me just two of them? Kuhn, what were two of the things that we saw that caused climate change? What are some of the things that we've done? What did you see in the video?
I see a car.
Cars, yeah, excellent. Cars burn oil. Did you see anything else?
I see a truck.
Excellent.
Pull the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And the people might
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do the people make? What did we build?
build a city.
Excellent. Very good, Kuhn. Thank you. So these are all things that we've done.
More rice. All these things release greenhouse gases. Remember the blanket over the Earth? Because of humans, it got much, much thicker.
So greenhouse gases help keep heat like a blanket. But now oil and cooking with gas and burning coal and pollution released more greenhouse gases. So what happens now? How about Danny?
Because the pollution, so we need more greenhouse gases.
So because of humans, the Earth is now warmer because there's more greenhouse gases.
When I get hot, I sweat. I even get dizzy. Imagine the Earth. Because it's hotter, glaciers and ice sheets are melting. Seas are rising, storms are getting stronger, some places are getting dry. Even the sea is getting warmer. All living things.
All right, so it says places are getting warmer. There's droughts, places are getting drier. Storms are getting worse. Waves are getting bigger.
are in big trouble. So, what should we do? We need to change the way we live so we can stop releasing so much greenhouse gases. That way, the Earth's blanket will go back to normal. We also need to be ready for what climate change will bring. In December, there will be a big...
Okay, so that last part just talks about things we can do, like clean energy with windmills. So that is climate change. Normally, the Earth reflects back the heat. It goes away, and greenhouse gases keep some of it, like a thin blanket. But because we burn fossil fuels like coal and oil and trees, there are more greenhouse gases. So now it's like a really, really thick blanket. Let's see now how that climate change can change environments, since that's what we've been learning about. Let's see who can read this definition of climate change for me. Zoyman.
Climate change. A big change in climate patterns such as temperatures, rain, and wind due and to increase carbon dioxide in the air from burning fossil fuels like oil and coal.
Excellent job. Thank you, Zoyman. So a change in climate patterns like temperature, rain, wind. So it's not just getting hotter, it's also having more hurricanes, having more forest fires. The weather and rain patterns are different in different areas. It's changing the environment due to carbon dioxide in the air. The change in temperature because of climate change is called global warming. Dinman, can you read for us about global warming?
Increase in temperature due to climate change and pollution.
Very good, excellent. So global warming is the change in temperature because of climate change. All right, so how can climate change affect animals? What do you think? Sup, how do you think climate change can affect animals?
The animals need to get colder.
Yeah, so maybe they move somewhere colder. That's a good idea, Sup. Excellent. Let me write that down. Right, because their environment is changing. Kitty, what do you think?
I think there are more forest fires and then the trees will be burned and animals will die.
All right, so natural disasters destroy plants, so animals die. Very good, Kitty. Excellent. How about Simon? What do you think will happen to the animals?
Some animals get drowned in water because the mouth pool is made out of ice. Then if the climate change get heated, then the ice melted and some animals get drowned in the water.
All right, excellent. Animals drown in water or lose their habitat from ice melting. Very good idea, Simon. All right, let's have one more. Katie, what do you think?
Some fish die.
Some fish die, very good, because the climate heats up. And how about Nancy?
I have the same idea as Katie's because I still feel that some fish do live in such extreme things.
Yep, I agree. All right, so I think that's a good start to our list then. So the coral reefs also die because of climate change and global warming. The water gets too hot, and then the fish die and we lose whole habitats. Oh, what do you guys think happens to the polar bears? Fred?
They die.
They die. Why do they die? How does climate change change their environment so they can't survive?
Because heat makes their habitat warmer so they can live.
You're right. It makes their habitat warmer. Their habitat disappears. There's nowhere further north to go than the North Pole, right? They can't go any further. How about a koala bear? Any ideas how the koala bear might be affected by climate change? This one is really hard. Let's see, is Vicky in class today? I don't see her. Zoyman, do you know how koala bears are affected?
People cut down trees and climate change.
So people cutting down trees does change their environment, but that's not climate change. How do you think climate change changes their environment?
They get too hot and they die.
Maybe that's a little bit too general. Dami, did you have something?
They died because people cut down trees and forest fires.
So cutting down trees, again, that's not climate change, but forest fires are. Remember, climate change can cause extreme weather and natural disasters. Did anyone hear about the forest fires in Australia this year, where thousands of koala bears died? There was a forest fire in a koala bear sanctuary in Australia where thousands of koala bears died. It was really sad. And it's because of climate change. Here's another thing. Kaki, could you read this for me?
The more carbon dioxide in the air from pollution changes the chemicals in the eucalyptus tree. It becomes poisonous to koalas bear.
Very good. So what do you think happens, Kaki? From our homework, we know that koala bears only eat eucalyptus tree leaves.
So it don't have food to eat, so it dies.
Exactly. The extra greenhouse gases in the air change the chemicals in the eucalyptus tree, and now it's poisonous to the koala bear. They can't eat them. Bo, can you read the second box for me on the right side?
This is all they can eat. They get closer and closer to extinction as pollution
Increases.
increases.
Very good. So as pollution and carbon dioxide increases, the koala bear gets closer and closer to extinction. Let's read about another animal. Animals can move. Where can they go as it gets warmer? Let's see. Haifeng, where do you think animals can go as it gets warmer?
Desert.
So the desert is already warm, but as the earth gets warmer, it gets hotter and hotter. Where can the animals go?
Forest.
Yeah, maybe they go into a forest where there's shade. That's a great guess, Haifeng. Sam, where could the animals go as the earth gets warmer?
The rainforest.
Maybe. What does this show you?
Can you say that again?
Yes. What does this show? Where are the animals going? Where are the arrows pointing?
North and south.
Very good. Exactly. The animals can move further north or further south. Daisy, could you read this for me?
As it gets warmer, animals can move farther north or south. Animals move 70 km north or south every 10 years.
Very good. So the animals can move 10 kilometers north or south every 10 years to get to colder weather because it gets too hot where they are. So they move 10 kilometers north to where it's colder or south to where it's colder every year. Mooney, could you read this for me?
They want to find a habitat as similar to their starting habitat as they can.
Very good. So why do they move further north, Mooney?
It can be too hot.
Very good. And they want to find a temperature that's what they're used to. That's where they're adapted to live. They can also move up. Instead of further north, they can do what? They can go up a mountain, 11 meters every 10 years up a mountain. This animal has a good effect. It handles climate change well. The bark beetle feeds on trees. It survives really well in warm temperatures. So what do you think happens to them during climate change? Michael?
I think it could die, or it can dig into the tree.
So those are good guesses. Since it survives really well in warm temperature, its habitat actually grows. Sup, could you read the box on the right for me in the white writing?
The bark beetle's habitat grows as the earth gets warmer, destroying more trees and habitat.
Very good. So because it likes warm weather, its habitat gets bigger, but it destroys the trees and habitats of other animals. Some species can adapt easier. Other species are less adaptable, like the polar bear. The animals that can adapt will survive. Other animals that need specific food, like the koala bear, shelter, like the polar bear, or weather may go extinct. It's predicted, that means the scientists can guess by doing research, that 1 in 3 species will go extinct. There'll be no more because of climate change. So out of every 3 animals, 1 of them will go extinct because of this. But other animals adapt really well. They can adapt to different things, like this raccoon.
Some animals can tolerate big swings in weather and can find food from many different sources, so they will be able to survive and stay where currently found. More specific needs will have to move to other areas to find what they need to survive. Those that can't find those conditions quickly enough will die.
All right, so here, the animals that can adapt, like the raccoon, is fine. The other animals, like the duck, has to move to another place where the weather is colder. And some animals that can't adapt will go extinct. What about plants? Plants can't move, right? Why might plants not be able to move north or south? Because they can only move by the wind, by animals, or by water. The plants cannot move. And even if people move them, some parts of the earth get less sunlight or have different soil. Zoyman, can you read this for me, please?
Plants cannot move themselves. Even if people move plants, the soil, water, and sunlight might not be right for them to survive.
Very good. So even if people move them, the other conditions, the other part of the climate in that area might not be right for the plant. Here is your homework. Your homework is to choose a plant or animal affected by climate change. So you can use one we learned about today. You can use a different one. Pick any plant or animal affected by climate change. Draw your animal in its habitat. And then make a video. Say your animal and its environment. How does climate change its environment? And how does climate change affect your animal? For example, my animal's the raccoon. Its environment is the forest. Climate change makes its environment warmer. It also makes forest fires more common, and it makes it rain more. That's how it changes the raccoon's environment. Climate change does not really affect the raccoon because the raccoon can adapt to a lot of different situations. As long as it doesn't get stuck in a natural disaster like a forest fire, the raccoon can eat a lot of different things and it can survive in the snow and in the heat. Okay, so draw it and make a video, and I will share your videos on Monday, okay? And here are some extra help. If you want extra help, you can watch these videos. I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye, everybody.